The Cook Islands is celebrating 60 years of self-governance and free association with New Zealand. This comes as tensions continue to simmer between the two nations, with a big sticking point being the lack of consultation over the Cook Islands' growing relationship with China. Teanau Tuiono is a New Zealand Member of Parliament with the Green Party. He's in Rarotanga and he says celebrations have been vibrant, but the New Zealand Prime Minister's no-show hasn't gone unnoticed.
Oh, well, it's been a magical time here back home in the Cook Islands. We've had a week of the Maivanui cultural performances, and people have come out from the Paenua from all around in the outer islands as well. So it's been really wonderful to be with everybody, to share in the cultural performances, and to see relatives as well. I've got relatives that live here. My oldest child lives here as well. So to reconnect with family and to celebrate 60 years of self-governance, cooperation with New Zealand is incredibly significant for our people.
Now, Teanau, New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon was criticised for attending a lunch marking PNG's 50th independence anniversary rather than coming to the Cook Islands for this milestone event. And I think he probably is the first New Zealand Prime Minister to not attend an event of this significance. Now, what message do you think that sends?
It doesn't send I don't think that sends a very good signal. The fact that the Prime Minister is in the Pacific, but actually over in Papua New Guinea and not coming here to the 60th, I think that was noted by people. But what I would say is Dame Cindy Kiro delivered a speech very well. It was very well received, a very strong speech from Dame Cindy Kiro, and a very dignified speech as well, which talked about the connections that we have as Cook Island Māori with Māori in Aotearoa, Māori in New Zealand as well. So we're talking about this first 60 years of self-governance as well, but these connections are centuries old. So it's important to acknowledge those connections as well. And also a number of people also talked about the enormous contribution that Cook Islanders make to New Zealand, and I think that needs to be acknowledged, particularly by people in New Zealand. I think of places like Tokoroa, where Cook Islanders played a significant part in the industry there as well, and also during World War I, where we played a significant contribution serving alongside the Anzacs as well. These parts of history are very well known with our people in the Cook Islands and in the Cook Islands diaspora, but not so much in New Zealand. So not having the Prime Minister of New Zealand here, I think sent the wrong signal. But hey, we're here to celebrate 60 years and celebrate being with our people.
Now, there's been growing friction between the two nations in recent months, especially including over the Cook Islands' closeness with China. Lots has been spoken about that, the suggestion of a Cook Islands passport and New Zealand pausing development funding. How would you describe the relationship with New Zealand at the moment?
Well, it's a bit bumpy, and I say that somebody that sits over in Aotearoa as a member of Parliament in the New Zealand Parliament as well. I think we need to get to a place where we think about what's best for the community, particularly for people here at the Cook Islands and for those of us in the diaspora as well. I know that's what everybody wants. The speeches that I heard today, at the heart of it, is that's what everybody wants, what's best for the people, and to chart a pathway forward. That is what both governments should be doing, sitting down and finding the best pathway forward.
Well, a path forward with the Cook Islands. Now, they've decided to strengthen ties with Beijing. Now, how do you feel about this? Do you think that they are benefiting the Cook Islands?
Part of the deal, as I understand it, is around deep sea mining. I am in the Greens. We are in environment. The environment is really incredibly important for us. So regardless of who does it, China, America, or someone's next door neighbour, we will always be opposed to deep sea mining. On the ground here, I did spend some time with the Te Pukarea Society and Te Kōrero Te Oro as well. We actually went out with Te Kōrero Te Oro with Dr. Teina Rongo, who showed us a project that they were doing, getting rid of taramea as well, who have been an invasive species as well. And he also expressed many concerns about deep sea mining, particularly the deep sea mining aspects with this China deal as well. So that part of it we wouldn't support. We cannot support. But there are other issues around self-determination, around the ability for people to make their own choices, the ability for people here in the home islands to make their own decisions and to chart their pathway forward, and the importance for New Zealand to understand that. There is a lot of concern about the growing influence of China in the region, and some Pacific Island nations may not have handled that as well as they could have. People fear losing economic independence as well. But on the other hand, when we talk about geopolitical tension as well, it's important to note that the Americans have packed up and gone home essentially. US aid has been disbanded. There's no more US development funding out here as well. So people in the islands, across all the different islands, are looking for people to work with, looking for people to build those partnerships to move themselves forward. I would like that to be the most environmentally sustainable way that we can do that, because that's our kaupapa as part of the Green Party, focusing on ocean conservation and reminding people, as they do right across the Pacific, that actually the Pacific is on the front lines of climate change. When you go and talk to people about the existential threat facing the Pacific, they don't say China, they say climate change. So people need to come to the party and to support Pacific Island nations, to walk that path of self-determination, but walk it in a way that it means that we take climate action seriously around the world, and so that it matters most here in the Pacific.
Now, just changing tack for this last question. Lastly, your party has been vocal in calling for more recognition of Palestinian statehood and for New Zealand to provide more aid. Looking at the situation in Gaza now, have your feelings changed about this?
No, actually, our feelings are stronger than ever. We need to call for Palestinian statehood. We need an immediate ceasefire. There's a genocide happening in Gaza, and the sorts of things that we've been pushing the New Zealand government on is for example, getting the New Zealand government to support the ICJ case, which has been sponsored by South Africa, but also to make sure we do everything to make sure that food essentially gets into Gaza as well. That's incredibly important. And Palestinian statehood, for me, that's the bare minimum of what we can do to recognize the dignity of a people that have been incredibly oppressed. Because let's remember, there are people dying of starvation in Gaza, where these food aid trucks are stuck outside, but Israel won't let them in. And Israel and the US are controlling the food trucks from coming into Gaza as well. This is incredibly problematic, particularly for those families where they're using starvation as a weapon of war. Over 17,000 children have been killed. Thousands of people have been killed. Hundreds of thousands of people have been displaced. We are looking at a genocide unfolding in front of our eyes. It's not good. The world needs to stand up, including New Zealand.
Teanau Tuiono, thank you very much for your time.
Me taki rāna nui.